It's one thing to hear an officer or a therapist or someone telling you, man, you could do good, you could do better, right? But they don't ever get to see someone who's actually been incarcerated in prison. They don't ever get to see someone who's actually been through the same situation that they've been and been out and and able to be successful in life, right? So I think it's important for me and anybody really, we want to see it. We want to see it. So I felt like I wanted to get in here to show them like, hey, look, man, you don't got to be going to prison for your whole life. You don't got to keep coming in and out. It's up to you to make that choice. And I'm a testament to that. The odds are stacked against you. You think society buys into me now? Society still counts me out. Even though I've accomplished what I've accomplished, they still count me out. Am I gonna roll over on that? I don't know how to roll over. I'm gonna equip myself with the necessary tools needed. So start creating that person now, bro. Start creating that high vibrational human being, that high vibrational man, right? You gotta start creating him. You gotta start envisioning him. I promise you, even right now, the fact that I'm standing up here right now and talking to you guys, you know where that started? Where did it start, Pati? Right here, Togo. It started right here in my mind. I was like a year out. I said, you know what, man? I would love to go back and motivate the boys in there, man. To motivate them. And here I stand. I think the first step is, like I said, staying on a positive vibe, right? Constantly looking and putting yourself out there, trying to put yourself in positive situations, and in situations that are gonna benefit you. I think that's important, to constantly be on that frequency. And like I said, one of the guys, negativity should never be an option. You gotta constantly be the best version of yourself. That's what I want these guys to know, that you can become the best version of yourself. And that best version of yourself is who we need to be for our wives, for our kids, for our loved ones. The behaviors you do right now, you know how you know those behaviors? Because you taught yourself those behaviors. You constantly thought about them. You constantly gave it your energy. So how do you unlearn those behaviors? You apply that same method. It's not rocket science. If you care enough about your reality, if you care enough about whether or not you come back to this place, don't get me wrong, I know how it is. I know how it is over there, right? I lived there. I lived in there. I was there for 7 years. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean, you know, I still attend HUT, but I also wasn't putting myself in negativity, because there's a lot of negativity, right? I did my best to keep myself around that. And so say you get back to the section, right? Somebody's like, hey, let's go do this, whatever, right? Something negative. You know what you do? You say, nah, I'm good, right? Then you push on. It may seem small, but that's a beginning. Because the next time it comes around, it's gonna be a little bit more easier. A lot of times, bro, this is a paradigm we created ourselves. We created this. Just like I created myself, we created this, right? You gotta change your paradigm, and you gotta stick to it, no matter what. It's my mission because I did it. I accomplished it. And if I was just to covet that information and just to hold on to that information and keep it for myself, it wouldn't benefit the world at all anymore. So I think it's important for me to get in here and to get around these guys and to show them and try to help teach them the ways that I used to become better. Well, I've been in and out of juvenile hall and jail my whole life. I've been incarcerated my whole life. And when I was in prison and I figured out the codes that I needed to better myself and to become better, I think that's why I'm here.
So Ricky, about 7 years ago, I recognized a very common experience that both staff and the incarcerated folks experience quite a bit in prison, and that is they rarely get to see the success. They rarely get to see the fruits of the labor. The staff ultimately get to see the person come back or the person not leave, and rarely gets to see the person that left and never came back. And
Absolutely.
That's a similar experience that the incarcerated folks go through, is they get to see the person come back and they're getting influenced by the person that was unable to make it. About 2 years ago, the wardens and deputy wardens wanted to be able to recognize people for impacting others, and we've created
Absolutely.
a coin, and I wanted to present that to you.
Thank you so much.
You've given us both a different experience, both staff and the incarcerated folks a different experience, so thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys, fellas. I appreciate y'all, man.